Hi everybody! I think I speak for all of us when I say that we were ready to let last year go. Very hard and definitely not my favorite year. Flashback to August 2024. I was really burnt out from my job and I was like, okay, let's start trying this knitting thing again that my mum has telling me about basically since I was born. That is the most amazing thing ever. I did attempt it again. I had tried it previously in January and I had not been able to wrap my head around it, how the hell it worked. But in August I tried again and something finally clicked and my brain was like, oh, I understand knitting, kind of, the basic principle. That's cool, that's fun, I can make things. Knitting became a really big hobby of mine and something that I really enjoyed. I've been raving about it in therapy because it's so meditational. I don't know if that's a word. Meditative, maybe. For 2025, I have really big plans when it comes to knitting, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So grab a hot drink, maybe a little sweet treat. I have my cup of coffee in my adorable thrifted cup. Let's talk about knitting. A little caveat before we start. These are just patterns that I found recently that I would love to attempt, but whether or not I'm actually going to make them is definitely questionable. This is just an ideal state, so please don't put any pressure on yourself if you're a beginner like me. These are just ones that I've been really excited about and really would like to attempt. Yeah, I just want to talk about really cute knitting patterns. That's why I'm here. I'm going to be linking all of the patterns down below so you can purchase them for yourself. Starting out with something I'm actually already working on is the Chestnut sweater by petiteknit. Last year, I made my very first jumper, which was the Holger sweater for my boyfriend. I made him this brat jumper. That kind of took away the fear from knitting an actual jumper because I was very intimidated by that. This time, I want to attempt making one for myself. This is how it's looking so far. As you can see, I've run out of the yarn, which in this case is the petiteknit color matcha, which is also a petiteknit color. I learned the hard way that this is a very hard color to come by. When I was in Finland, I looked up all of the stockists of Festnetz, and I was hoping that they would have some petiteknit in this color because I only had 2 skeins, which was dumb to begin with, but there we go. This is a very rare color, but I asked in one shop in Body, which was amazing. They actually took a look at my project and they were like, okay, we'll order that in the next batch because they really fell in love with the color as well. I think it's a beautiful green shade, kind of like a moss forest green. I think matcha is also not such a bad name for it as well. Maybe I was also drawn to the color because of that. I think it's very beautiful. So far, the construction is quite similar as the Holger sweater. So it's a top-down construction jumper. And you start making short rows, German short rows, to kind of shape the shoulders. And then you work down and stockinette. The difference to the Holger sweater definitely comes on the neckline, because here we have a mock neck or a turtleneck, and also the bottom edge is going to be a bit different. It's going to have a little split on the side, but I thought this was so nice, a little bit of an oversized fit, you know, just something really comfy and cozy, and green because I love green. Next up we have another Harriet Bonnet. I completely love this pattern so much. As with the last one that my mom and I made together, this we also did in like teamwork. This is for my friend Nuri, who we love and adore. She's amazing, and she ordered basically a matching one so we can look really cute together. This is in the yarn Maya and the color Fuchsia. I'll write the exact color code down below. I thought it turned out really cute. Aww. And my mum made the main construction of the bonnet. I then made the eye cords. I think I'm gonna block it just to even out like the tension everywhere and make it look like nice and neat. Then it will be delivered to Nuri. This pattern is by milena pauliina and I love it. Love. I went into this beautiful yarn shop in my grandma's hometown. They had the cutest shade of this double Sunday yarn by Festnetz. If I'm not mistaken, it's a merino wool, and that got me really excited. That shade of pink was like, I need to make something with it. And then I was on TikTok the other day and I found this beautiful vest. It's like a pink bow vest designed by Festnetz. It's called the Dream Vest. It has very straightforward construction up top, bows on the side, and a sweet ruffle hem on the bottom, and I think it's the best thing I've ever seen. I've never tried anything by Festnetz. You can find the pattern on Etsy. I think you can layer it with so many things, with like a t-shirt underneath, white or a different color. It can be long sleeve. I haven't bought the yarn for everything yet, because that's another thing. All of these would be very expensive, so this is kind of like a dream situation of if I had an unlimited amount of money. Next up, I'm going to be knitting a Moomin beanie. This sounds maybe a bit more exciting than it already is, but basically my boyfriend, when we were in Finland, he wanted to buy himself a little beanie with a Moomin patch, but the ones that we were looking at actually were 100% polyester, and we were like, So my mom and I went to the grocery store, and actually we saw this cute knitting kit. Oh my god, my scarf is escaping. Don't escape me, girl. It has been through the ringer, but you can still read it. It's by Moomin and Novita, so it's a collaboration. And basically you get 2 skeins of this cute wool. It's 100% merino wool, and you get the instructions for it as well. And I thought that was perfect because A, it's merino wool. It's also going to keep him very warm, and B, it's handmade. I love making my loved ones little things if I can. So this is the one that I'm going to be making. It's called the Taikapilvi Pipo. I'm not sure if it has an English name as well. So Taikapilvi would mean something like magic cloud. It has like almost a bit of a pinkish tint to it, but it's like an off-white. And it was, I think, like 14 euros. So it's all right in terms of pricing. So yeah, you get the pattern and 2 skeins of wool, which is exactly what you need for your beanie. So that is in the works as well. Okay, this is one of my more ambitious projects. It's called Adelaide Robinson blouse. I saw this on TikTok by another creator who did their 2025 Want to Knit. If I can find the name, I will insert it right here. And I fell in love with it. This is so beautiful. Sometimes I also feel a bit more like a vintage style when I'm dressing, or maybe also more like a hobbity, cozy. You know what I'm saying? Like a fairy, cottagecore type. And I think this would be perfect for that. It looks very complicated to me though as a beginner, so I don't know like when I'm going to attempt this or with what type of yarn. I really want to challenge myself also this year, like I did last year with the jumper as well. So I definitely wanted to throw this in here and have it on my to-do list. This beautiful pattern is the Adelaide Robinson blouse by Katriana Gillanders. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced the name. I looked it up online. Some people said Katriana, other people said Katriana, some people said Katrina. So I'm very sorry. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find the actual pronunciation. So fingers crossed one of them actually fits. Maybe this is weird, but I've never made socks. I know a lot of people, when they learn how to knit, they learn how to make socks. At least that was how it used to be for my mum and all of my relatives who grew up in Finland. They learned how to do socks in school. I'm very intimidated by socks. I don't know, like it just seems, it's like so small. There's so many different shapes going on. Like it just looks very difficult to me. But I want to challenge myself this year, as I said. So I found these cute socks. They're little ruffle socks. They're called the Midnight Dancer socks by Sari Nordlund. Maybe she's also a Finn, I don't know. I already have a pair of ruffle socks in white, but I would love like a red pair or a pink pair to wear with my little Mary Janes, or even like my Doc Martens or sneakers. I think these are adorable, and you can make them like really cool also with stripes maybe, or with some glittery reflective yarn if you're feeling like extra jazzy. Those are definitely on my list as well. I really wanted to do another Toga sweater but striped this time, like it's originally intended, with a bit of a modification. The reason being because I still have a ton of this greenish neon yarn that I used for his brat jumper. It's called Taikuri, the color, which means magician, wizard. It's again by Novita in 7 veljestä, and I would love to do a brown and off-white stripe with a small accent stripe in this neon green color, and maybe in order to like jazz it up a bit, add a bit of mohair to this neon green stripe, just to add a bit of texture and fluff and a bit of interest. So I think that would be really cute. I sketched it out already. I would definitely like to attempt trying this, and also I've already made one, so I know I can do this. Another thing I would love to make for myself is a slipover with some type of design stitched on it with a duplicate stitch. I've seen so many on Pinterest and I've been absolutely in love with them. There's this really cute one with like a little cat or a swan embroidered on it. The sky's the limit when it comes to these. Like you could also make a star or something like super elaborate. I really want to learn how to do a duplicate stitch properly. When I did the brat jumper, I kind of winged it, so it doesn't look that completely neat. But yeah, I would love to learn it to do it properly and make something like really cute in terms of design. Maybe also with texture, so add some more hair to it to make it a bit fluffier, and yeah, add this like haptic element to it. I think the novice slipover by petiteknit is a nice, very basic shape. It's also a bit cropped, which I kind of like. But again, you could make it longer if you want. I think that would be a nice basic shape, and then just go ham with the embroidery on it or duplicate stitching on it. That's my plan. Another one that I would like to attempt for my boyfriend is a patchwork jumper. I saw this picture on Pinterest, and I don't want to go too much into like the Harry Styles cardigan direction, even though I do still love that. So I want different textures. And also I think the key here is to make the panels different sizes. So not all the same like rectangular square shape, like a granny square, but to make them like longer and shorter and kind of mix and match also the stitches that you use. I really want to use up my scrap yarn as much as possible. So this I'm scheduling more towards the end of the year, so I can just see what's like left over and where my vision is at that point. But yes, I think this would be very fun to just knit very different panels. That's the word. Panels. Maybe also bring some more hair into it, like different textures, and also try different stitches because I've mainly done stockinette stitch so far. So yeah, let's see if I can wrap my noodle around how different stitches work. To be continued. This concludes my plans of knitting for 2025. Also, there's probably going to be like a bunch of Sophie scarves in there because it's become like my number one present to give to people. Maybe also the Sophie hood. So let's see. As I said, this is just like a preliminary selection, but what actually comes out at the end of the year remains to be seen. Thank you so much for watching it up until this point. I hope you got some inspiration maybe for yourself, and tell me if there's any knitting patterns that you're really excited about, especially maybe from like smaller knit designers. Maybe something that's suitable for beginners as well, because I'm a beginner. I would love to hear from you. Let's talk about knitting, and see you maybe in another video. Who knows? Bye! Let's have a sip. It's cold already.